Hi, my name is Robin Lewis. I'm a lead installer with MTA, and today I'm going to show you how to install the Nevi Height Adjustable Table. So let's talk about the tools required. First, you're going to need a cordless drill. Then you're going to need bits, and what I have here is a 6mm Allen, and I have it set up on a 3/8 adapter so I can switch out bits on my drill. And next I have a T40. It's a Torx bit, T40, and then I have a number 2 Phillips bit to drive my screws in. And then the instructions say to have a torque wrench, but really all you need is a ratchet to basically when you tighten down your bolts, you get it nice and tight, and then you just give it like a little quarter turn, and that's tight enough for it. So, all right, let's go ahead and build this. Okay, so this is the product you should have received from Herman Miller. If you ordered the standard height adjustable table, you'll receive 2 boxes, one with the work surface and the other box with the height adjustable legs. If you ordered the extended, then you will receive a 3rd box, which is the cross beam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbox everything, lay it all out, and get rid of the trash so I work in a nice, clean workspace. Okay, so you can see that I have everything unboxed and laid out in an organized fashion. What you should receive in your packaging is your 2 column legs. You should receive a right and left top support bracket. You should have received 2 feet, as well as the control box, power cable, and hand switch. So that's what comes in the standard Nevi hat. If you ordered the extended, then you'll also receive this 3rd piece, which is the cross beam. So I'm going to go ahead and start building this, and let's get started. Okay, so let's assemble our leg. We're going to pre-drill these holes here for the top support because a lot of people are having problems installing the top support. So what I want to do, or what I like to do a lot of times, is actually just get the screw and run it in and kind of have my drill on full and just kind of drive it in there and drive it in and then back it out. And we're going to do that to the 2 holes in the front, and there's 2 holes in the back. So you want to do that to all of them, and I've already done it to this one. And a lot of people have been asking about the foam. The foam is fine, just leave it. Not doing any harm. And some people have had problems with actual, your top support has some holes here, and that should match up to pre-drills that are on the surface. So I got it matched up to the pre-drills here. If your surface does not have pre-drills, you're still okay. What you want to do is get a tape measure and just make sure you got about a 1/2 inch on the edge and a 1/2 inch in the front. So you got a 1/2 inch along the side, and then just make sure that your back is about 2 3/4 inches to the bracket to the back of the surface, and you could screw it down there, and that's fine. So I'm going to attach the top support to the column. I'm going to line it up and just visually make sure that my holes line up, and just drive the screw in. And I'm going to leave it just in, but I'm going to leave it a little loose because I want to get all 4 in before I tighten it. So now I'm on the 4th one, I can go ahead and just tighten them all. Okay, so now I'm going to line the top support up with my pre-drills or place it by my tape measure. So I can see the pre-drills there and there. I'm going to switch to my number 2 Phillips. And we're going to just drive these 5 screws in. Okay, so I'm going to pull the control cable out and just kind of have it sitting out here ready to go. And there's 2 holes here, and it's always a good idea to add 2 screws in here as well to give the leg more stability. There's a big hole on top, a little hole on the bottom. Just drive it in. Just be careful of your cable. Okay, so now your leg is attached to the bottom of the surface. We're going to add the foot. And I'm going to take the long bolts here, and I'm going to just kind of visually line up my holes, and I'm going to hand thread them. Okay, try this again. Okay, so I got this one started. This one's going too, so now I can use my, you can use your number 6 Allen, 6mm Allen, and just go ahead and tighten it. And what I want to make sure is my leg is nice and flush and square with the actual column, so it's nice and straight. And go ahead and tighten it and get it pretty hand tight, and just give it a little turn when it's, like a quarter turn, once it's tight. Same thing with this other one. Get it nice and tight, and just a little turn. Make it nice and snug. And basically make sure your glides here are all the way in but loose so that you can adjust them when the table is on top. So that's it for this leg. Now we got to do the other one, but I've already done it, so it's already set up. So now we have both our legs attached to the surface. For those of you that ordered the extended Nevi hat, now you have to install the crossbeam. For those of you who had the standard, you don't have the crossbeam, but you basically are ready to do your cabling. But we're going to install the crossbeam for the extended, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my 2 control cables through the back, and then I want to get my up-down switch, and I'm going to run it through the front and through the back. And I want to make sure my cables are kind of tucked in so that I don't put the crossbeam on top of them. Now we're going to go down right on top, hit it down, and right now we're looking good. We don't look like we have any cables that are crushed or anything, but we're going to run our 8 screws into the crossbeam. Okay, so now the crossbeam's installed. We want to start installing the control switch and our control box and our up-down switch. And since I'm right-handed, I would want my switch on the right, but if you're left-handed, you could put it on the left. And what we normally do is we kind of put the front edge of the control switch, or the up-down switch, kind of just a little bit back behind the front, so it doesn't stick out. And you want to make sure that it's nice and straight, so kind of make sure you're nice and square with the front edge. And we'll just screw that down. And what we want to do is kind of take our excess here and kind of stuff it into the crossbeam. If you don't have the crossbeam, then you've got all these wire managers and you got your wire ties. You can do your own wire management and kind of just make sure all your cables are kind of nicely managed under the top so they don't hang down. But we're going to go ahead and just use 2 of these wire managers for this, and I'm going to run this kind of over here. Get all the excess in there. Now we're ready to install our control box. We're going to plug in the motors in the up-down switch and kind of find a good spot where the cables are kind of nice and managed there. So we're going to go ahead and screw it down right about here. And then now we're going to plug in our power cable. And a good idea is actually get one of these wire managers and put it close to where the power cable plugs in and put a screw there so when you go up and down it doesn't accidentally come unplugged. So that's basically it. We're ready to turn this thing over and reset it, and we should be good to go. So we plugged in the height adjustable table and we're ready to reset it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this thing is all the way down, and I'm going to release, and I'm just going to hold the down button, and it's very subtly going to go down and up just a little bit. Okay, so it just reset. It went down and kind of went back up, so both legs are at equal height. And we're going to go up. And so a couple safety things to think about as you're going up is that your monitor or this table could possibly hit anything that's either on the wall or around it, so just be careful, be aware as you're going up. Make sure you have a 1-inch gap all the way around so you have no pinch points. That way you don't get your hand in there. And then just teach your kids not to hang on the surface, because this is not a toy and it could possibly tip just like any furniture that's high. But other than that, we're done. Want to thank you for watching our video and enjoy. Now you're ready to get back to work.